About Philippines BPO business for SharePoint Online. Compare as is, current appearance, and to be, how it should be, of working with SharePoint, action, solution. 1. Abe Point, InfoShare, Quest Software, etc., for companies that have deployed Microsoft 365 SharePoint in Japan. Based on BPO in India and the Philippines, commercials that can provide cheaper, defect-free, and high-quality work are distributed on YouTube and app stores, etc. We will wait for inquiries from interested people and make proposals that will lead to orders. If you directly connect to the work by inquiry, you do not need to pay an intermediate margin to the intermediary, and you can expect to increase profits by significantly reducing work costs by outsourcing. 2. Various materials related to SharePoint that have already been posted at major companies at study sessions, briefing sessions, technical training, etc. are made into English. By appealing the high level of know-how to related foreign-affiliated business partners, we can also receive orders, activities that lead to sales expansion. I presume that foreign companies don't have a very high level of SharePoint know-how considering the Japan culture, Japanese. Some work leaders dispatched from abroad seem to have a problem in carrying out their leadership duties because they are doing work related to SharePoint, but they do not understand SharePoint very well. Focusing on this point, posting English materials at foreign-affiliated companies as the minimum knowledge for the person in charge of work will be material to move the other party, and as the minimum knowledge for the person in charge of work. If you ask a bilingual person to translate Japan materials into English, you will naturally acquire SharePoint know-how as well as those who are engaged in the work. 3. Why don't you approach the common parts that simplify the site construction work and lead to the provision of standardization services to many users so that they can use them? Major companies that have already responded to the service have been using it for a long time by providing it free of charge in their work requests, but we have a track record of not experiencing any defects, so the quality of the parts is not a problem. Because there are also voices that want. As a way to connect to sales, register in the SharePoint App Store and use it for users who have tenants, and it will become monthly billing sales. As long as the user is using it, Microsoft will continue to bill and pay the charge to the person who provided it, so I think that there is no hassle at all. Since the common parts are personal works, registration is not a problem, and although it is a reference example, even if 2.5% of the usage fee of Microsoft 356 is added to the usage fee, the bill per person is about 150 yen, which is not a worrisome amount, but for example, in the case of 8,000 tenant users, the sales will be 1.2 million per month. Through this common part, there is a possibility that a work request will be received directly from the user, and the work request will not be paid an intermediate margin to the intermediary. 4. Companies that are already developing BPO business in the Philippines such as call center also blog with the keywords of Microsoft 365, SharePoint, read aloud video. However, it seems that BPO is not supported in SharePoint related matters, so we will propose C2C sponsorship to expand sales. About the Philippines BPO business for SharePoint Online. I will explain them in the order in which they are displayed. Do you want to improve work efficiency in a remote or new normal society, but you have problems such as high human resource costs, lack of IT human resources, and lack of know-how? Contrary to the advancement of IT around the world, a serious shortage of IT human resources is expected in the future. From the future estimate graph of the IT human resources market, we can see that in 8 years, there will definitely be a shortage of 780,000 IT talent. Therefore, I came up with the idea that 420,000 IT personnel who graduated from universities in the Philippines could make up for the shortfall. Recently, IT human resources from Vietnam and India have been making up for the shortage, but the utilization of IT human resources in the Philippines is still small. In line with the times, now is the time to start the BPO business. In order not to get on the measures to avoid the wave of talent shortage, hundreds of millions of people around the world use SharePoint and Power Platform related. It is necessary to urgently consider outsourcing construction and development work. By considering outsourcing, in order to maximize the benefits of significant cost reduction, labor costs are low, excellent human resources are abundant. If it is a simple Japanese, there are many people who can understand it, and the Philippines is the best. The benefits of BPO are cost savings, the ability to hire sophisticated experts, and the ability to focus on your core business, with quality customer feedback. Use the latest technology, get high-quality employment opportunities, and be about 4 hours away by plane from Tokyo Haneda. You can travel between Japan and the Philippines in twice the time you need to get to Okinawa. The reason why the Philippines is because it is the Philippines, which is the world's largest human resource trove. The average age is 23 years old, young, cheap, full of talented people. If you look at the bar chart for the end year of the demographic dividend period, you can see at a glance that it is the world's #1 demographic dividend. IT and BPO businesses are period industries in the Philippines, with a market size of 2.63 trillion yen, which is 7% of GDP, and a growth rate of 7%. It is supported by various government agencies, including the Philippine Department of Trade and Industry and the Philippine Special Economic Zone Authority. India and the Philippines are the world's top BPO industries. IT infrastructure is in place, excellent IT human resources are available, and there are many human resources who adapt to the working environment of the Japan. Human resources, language, culture, geography, etc., are all suitable for Japan. The monthly cost of IT talent is 1/4 of Japan. In order for Japan people with know-how to live in the house and educate the development staff and act as a bridge, it is possible to reduce human resource costs and maintain business performance while improving operational efficiency. Offshore BPO business, business outsourcing business. We are entrusted with the construction and development work related to SharePoint Online and Power Platform from Japan and overseas. Japan people with know-how live there to educate and give work instructions to development personnel. The cost advantages of offshore operation are: Japan recruitment of outstanding human resources aiming to reduce costs of 50% or more in Japan, recruitment of Filipino-Japanese-English bilingual human resources. In the future, we will actively recruit Japanese learners at N3 and N4 levels who want to work in Japan, and if they also need to work in Japan, we can respond flexibly. The Philippine BPO scheme utilizing DX Jinsei is as shown in the screen image displayed. There are many talented engineers in the Philippines, and the scripts to be set for parts of SharePoint Online and the settings for Power Platforms are. Because it is dedicated code, that is, a programming language, it can eliminate the barrier between Japanese and English. In addition, various templates, JavaScript common parts, and web parts common parts for customization have already been prepared, so we can respond quickly. Even if the user's detailed requests are requested, if there is a bridge with know-how, high performance can be achieved while keeping costs down. There will be Japan people with know-how living there, and we will also provide education to the development staff. The image of Japanese business flow in the Philippines is for those who are interested in building a site by browser operation and customizing it according to the purpose. If you are a Japan corporation that has a branch office in the Philippines, we can respond bilingually to inquiries from the Philippines, so if you are interested. If you have any detailed inquiries, please send us an email and we will contact you from here.